But he's facing a guy that, when he does come to America, he seems to get a lot of results. And the East Coast, again, has been shooting the one that it's very tight. The best angle, easy to hit it into the bottom cushion a little bit. Just like that. Just because you're coming away. If you're on the other side of the two, believe it or not, the pocket opens up. Get a little bounce, get left of the 5 and back down with the cue ball. Definitely a player that's been in big moments.
The 2 ball that just refuses to go down. It's been attempted 3 times now.
Well, the 2's down and very be breaking the balls pretty well to get to this point. Professional pool has changed. I mean, this has got quite a bit of speed. So I think he's got to go with a little draw stroke. Oh, he's going with a high ball. Uh-oh. Is the 9 going to agree?
Yeah, pulled up in plenty of time in the end. As opening racks go, this has been one of the more eventful ones.
Took a long time over that ball.
It was, Phil. It was a bit earlier, though. It was
yeah,
last
it was
16.
Last 16. That's right.
I think that was the match where we had all the golden breaks.
That's right.
Right
that's
at the start.
That's right. A nice shot there. Got a little close to his work. You could see he really took a look at the 2 ball. Should be able to get across and be in the lefty, be right on top of the 2, shooting it to a tight pocket. Now, where some players make the mistake is they kind of baby this. You don't want to fire it, but you want it to slide a little. Yeah, just like that. Put a little speed on it.
Been so much talk this year about the new world ranking system. He has won one of the events which counts towards that this year. Not one of the bigger ones, but still reasonable number of points. For winning the Diamond Open in Pennsylvania back in April. Beat another British player, Darren Appleton, in the final of that. Shaw, one of 4 British players in the last 64 stage, which includes 25 different nationalities.
Yeah, I was trying to take a guess at how many countries represented here in this great U.S. Open, and the number's huge. Probably 45 countries, maybe.
Who survived the 1-loss section.
Yeah, I don't think he can get real close to this combo. Tip came up on that one. Off in position. A lot of times distance, of course, hence the nickname Eagle Eye. Not much of a factor to this man. And it seems, you know, Jayson doesn't have an inaugural event, and I think that's going to be an incredible event for pool as it grows. 64 juniors.
Just the experience of being here and rubbing shoulders, as it were, with the biggest names in the game and playing in the same conditions as them. I mean, what's not to like about that?
Yeah, you could feel the buzz. Most all of them arrived yesterday and watching the event. You know, the pros have been so good with the next generations of pool players that I think it's just going to get more quality as things go on. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more junior events tied on to some of these bigger ones. Difficult little situation here. Watch out for the side. Yeah, right. That side pocket I was talking about right here. Yeah. Ooh.
Whoa.
Wow.
Tell you what, though, the fact that it has stayed on the table, obviously that's what he wanted, but doesn't have to make this 8-ball a tougher proposition.
And watch how it just kind of settles and gravity seems like it's been a little bit defeated here on this shot. Awkward cueing. The key to this shot when you're in this position is don't let up. It's easy when the cueing is you kind of let up at impact. Make sure you get through the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Like so much else, it's about committing to the moment, isn't it? And he did that very impressively and from the positional.
Yeah, what happens with that mentally anyways is a couple different things. You know, Jayson can feel, you know, a little less pressure if he's not seeing balls go down on the break from Lee Van. He can kind of erase that mistake, but at the same time, you can't lean on that because I see it to where, you know, halfway through the match, Lee Van figures out the break and puts some racks together. So Eagle Eye knows he's got to keep mistakes to a bare minimum. Yeah, if they had it at the sports book, I'd be betting it. That's for sure. Touchy little shot. I think he's going to try and float between the 4 and 9 here. So it's all talent involved here. Oh, he came across. Nice effort. Didn't realize he could move it across so easily and a lot of control. Kind of towards the 8 with a little spin. He's kind of elevating here. So does that mean he's coming 3 rails? Okay. See, that's a little preference there. Some guys would spin up into that position, and then some guys would kind of do that light stun. When you're close to the ball, that's when you can, you know, really choose what you like. When you start to get longer shots, that's when there's a little more standard way to do things. Playing all ball fouls. Probably just a little top inside. He could just stun if he wanted, but little top left English. A little bit of both there. Why he kind of stunned that as well. He wanted to make sure he didn't flirt with that left side pocket. Now going by the 9 and back up for the lower left corner.
Four racks, and every one has gone against the break. And that's why it's Shaw 2, Corteza 2. Also 2-2 here.
Yeah, and that's 2 clearances after 2 dry breaks. Watch out for the cue ball, that spin. Okay, he came clean. 7 balls, not going to do him any favors, though. And again, 2 dry breaks from Lee Van, and Jayson gets 2 games on the board right behind it. So that's going to be a stat that's going to be a huge impact in this match. You would figure anyways. And I like what, you know, I've seen all year from Ko Ping Yi. I think, you know, of course he hasn't played his best yet here. A little nervy maybe at times, but maybe he's settling in. He's playing a solid. Interesting little rollout here. Of course, he couldn't go anywhere offensive, but I think he's left a pretty easy safety. Yeah, you can see a little shake of the head there. He's definitely not getting this back. He's just going to roam the 1 over the 2, bring the cue ball behind the 3. Just real subtle. Yeah, didn't quite get there maybe, and no reason to be short there with the 3 and the 2 helping you, but kind of a so-so push out in my opinion. Now Jayson, even though he can see an edge of the 1, he still may kick at this ball just because doesn't really see much future. Now what Jayson is so good at also is taking these situations you don't normally see And maybe not getting the snooker, but at least getting the one out of position for Lee Van. Now he's going to look at the kick. Now the kick, you can go with a little bit of a high ball. Try and bring the cue ball down behind the 5, you know, something like that. A lot of guys here in this position, I think, would address this with a draw, maybe try and pocket the 1 in the lower left-hand corner. And that's what he's going to do. Yeah. And so that's kind of like you got to make a decision there, Michael. You know, should I play for a little luck there because I'm in such a bad position? You know, he was trying to subtly put the 1 on the left long rail, just trying to keep Lee Van off an offensive shot. And, you know, when percentages say it's not there, you sometimes just got to let the balls move a little bit and create a little luck. Normally not too big of a deal, but, you know, nerves are, definitely tell nerves are in there. I wonder why he put so much English on the ball. Is he trying to come a couple rails to get a little closer to the pink 4? You can really cut the pink 4 and kill the cue ball pretty easily from the center of the table. But yeah, he's trying to get much closer. This may fall below the 4. Speed's perfect.
Only 5 players on each team, and certainly from the European point of view, a lot more than 5 players who will feel they could do a job in that event this year. Took a while to pull the trigger there, but got the job done. Corteza now leads 3-2.
Okay, and that happens so often when you're worried about hitting the ball light. You actually end up a little short of your mark. You kind of shock yourself at times. But he's pretty natural to come across. Good position on the 3 in the same pocket as the 2 for the 2. Oh, nice shot there. A lot cleaner, right? Going down the rail. And definitely intentional going into the 9 with the cue ball.
Corteza started with a whitewash of the British player Andrew Finnegan, 9-0. And a very good win over Mark Bijsterbosch, the Dutch World Cup player, 9-5. Lost 9-6 to Wojciech Szewczyk in winners qualification. That sent him into losers qualification, but he got through comfortably.
You could see him checking there, all ball fouls. Key to that is once you get in position, just don't go any lower with your body. Once you get into a comfortable position to be able to pull the trigger. John Lehman hard at work here to replace these balls after moving the template. Situation will come up from time to time. Maybe not. Maybe he rolls out where he's standing to just a piece of the 2. I don't think he wants to roll out to the cross side bank. Oh, he's left a full snooker, and this is odd to me to roll out to a jump shot when you had so many more options.
Made that look easy, Jeremy.
Yeah, he sure did, and you know those are big turning points in matches, and you got to say that's a lot of heart just to take that shot on in such a big moment. But like I said, the mentality I think has changed overall in professional pool. That it's light. He's going to be upset about that. So Lee Van's going to kick and try and hit the bottom of this 3. He's going to take a chance of making it in the side. Trying to bring the cue ball back towards where he's standing. Great effort there.
Number of matches scheduled for 1 o'clock as well, so.
Well, just looking around. Uh-oh, the 9 ball may be a problem here. Yeah, big problem. He's going to have to come with a nice 2-rail kick at the pink 4. Nice shot on the 3, just a little light maybe. The reason why I asked that about, I'm just looking around for the guys that are warming up, and just again so many huge names.
Radoslav Babika. And of course, huge day for Wolford and Dominguez, who are both right in that mix for those Mosconi Cup spots. Wolford looking to get in there for the first time.
Each day, when he gets racks under his belt, matches under his belt, he's just going to improve, you know, become more of a...
Janiuski, who you were talking about a few minutes ago, Jeremy, in his performance at the World Cup. Let's not forget he also pushed Shane Van Boening very close in winners' qualification at the European Open. Really could have won that match, only lost 9-7 in the end. 5-2 here as well to Lee Van Corteza. Jayson Shaw has got to start making something happen here.
Yeah, he sure does. A name you mentioned that doesn't get mentioned enough, and a very consistent player that's always in the mix, at least here in America, Roland Garcia. Tough. Oh, here's that break again. Not much going on with it. Did get the one down. Lee Van, always a fun character. There's all kinds of safeties here. He could chip the top of the 2 and just roam the cue ball 1 rail up behind the 3, using the 7 and the 8. That's probably a little better. Only reason being is you may get a very devastating snooker in that manner. Now he's looking at this combination, so he likes it. He must be able to hold the 2. This is difficult. Jacked up, I would really consider not shooting at this. Like I said, chip the top of the 2, go by the 7 with the cue ball, really use that skills trying to come up on the 3. This is a very missable combo. I wouldn't shoot at this. Yeah, I don't know about that one. And you kind of got this, you know, a little pressure on Jayson right now. So I think that does play into some shot selection at times.
(2017) was Jayson Shaw's US Open year. Played Declan Catchy in the final. Led 8-0, went on to win 13-4, making him the 4th different European winner after Ralph Suke, Mika Immonen, and Darren Appleton. Joshua Filler has since become the 5th. Well, we could see in his face there, that's an expression that a player only has after he's had a kick. And that was...
I may kill this ball. I don't know. I'm not in love with trying to move the ball a lot here, unless I have to. Yeah, okay, just keep it natural. That's exactly correct. The 5 does play by the 8. Nothing wrong with the side pocket, that's for sure. Just stay off the rail. That way, if you get a little funny on the angle. And that should be okay. Looks like he's going to try and draw to the rail. And out. Could float it. It's to beat some big names, but you kind of felt like that miss at a crucial time or mistake was going to happen, or that's just not the case in this final 64.
David O'Cady now 3-2 in front of Ko Ping Chung. That one taking its time for sure. Niels Fine 7-1 against Torsten Homan, and Abdullah Al Yusuf has a 6-3 lead over Dennis Grabe.
He didn't like it. Easy shot. A lot of times we say, oh, it's okay anyways, but very smart and experienced Lee Van Corteza.
Talking earlier about all the big individual tournaments he's won.
I'm curious to see. I don't think he's going to move the rock too much. Does need an angle of some sort. Now the 8 does play on the side, so if he doesn't and can't get on the 8 in the lower left, he can draw back behind for the 8 in the side. He'd rather not. That's why you see him taking a little more time on trying to make this decision right here. Important he doesn't let up. I mean, eagle eyes who he is, because any opening. He's looking to pounce. Oh, that's got to go. That's got to go. He hit way up on the cue ball, and an odd decision in my point to draw back around. You're drawing pass position when you do that, because the 8 does play in that middle pocket. So definitely we're going to see Eagle Eye come to the table. I don't think this is a playable bank. Could be wrong.
Well, this could be the moment of the match. Look at this. I think he's definitely settled now, it's fair to say.
Yeah, you can't get all those titles and wins without coming with shots, and you can thank the Derby City Classic for that. I think every player is a better banker these days. Just
looking ahead to the next lot of matches, Jeremy. They're all very aware of the Mosconi situation, so people might say
we have a group of, guys that are professionals and becoming more professional every day. So I mean, certain things that happened in the Mosconi for the Americans prior. They could come 2 rails. I kind of like the 1 rail coming up towards the 7. I think that's going to give you that angle you want to get on the 8 a little better. So once he's right here, he's got angle the entire way up. That brings him across for the 8 a little more naturally. And we'll see how this match ends and plays out. But I think if you talk to Jayson, even at this moment now, there's a few shots in those first few racks, that 2 ball. It was very playable. Couple little shots here and there. He got snookered one time, kind of on a shot maybe he shouldn't have on the 3 coming back for the 4. So, he can talk about the kick and he may bring that up, but I think overall Jayson would tell you I had some chances. Yeah, pretty incredible, and a lot of drama out there. And I'll tell you, mistakes are going to be magnified. As this tournament moves on, that's just how these big events are, and got to check the cue ball with a little right English if he does bank at it. I'm trying to look for the safety, and I really don't see much of any that I'm in love with. And there's definitely some doable safeties, but nothing easy. I think he's attacking. Oh, and he hit it sweet. He hit it sweet.
having a good year, runner-up in the US Open 10 ball back in April. He's 3rd in the Sandcastle Open in New Jersey.
And if you look at that field, the Sandcastle, of course, a ranking event, and then a lot of the players looked at it as a great event to play in right before coming, an hour and a half across the state for the U.S. Open. But if you look at it, what a field it was! Just really, really top shelf. Okay, funny little kiss shot here, just because of the 5. You could hit this easy, but you want the 5 may cover up the next shot on the 3. So he wants to cross this over and play the 3 in the upper right. Oh, he's hitting it light. Trying to hold for the corner. And then back out towards the center of the table. He may just roll it.
Polish players to reach this stage has gone.
And I'm afraid to say I think we're going to lose Jayson here shortly.
Elimination of the UK Open. Last 16 at the European Open was his best showing. And it looks like it's going to be last 64. Elimination for him here. It's a rare day Jayson Shaw loses 7 racks in a row against anyone.
Didn't deserve it, right? I mean, it's going to be pretty obvious now that just like this match, Lee Van deserved this win.
Look to only have a few more moments to run. Jayson Shaw has been MVP at the Mosconi Cup for both of the last 2 years. But he's going to need a pick from Alex Lely to be involved in this year's staging, because he is out of the US Open. On table 1, that has been. Tell us about these numbers then. All in favour of Corteza.
Yeah, and it's 5 missed pots, you know, out of only 34 swings of the cue. That's, and really I don't really recall many tough ones there. So Eagle Eye, what he's known for, maybe got the best of him at the beginning of the match, and then Lee Van just kind of took charge, especially after figuring out how to make a ball on the break.